Hello everyone. Well, thank you for joining us today for our All In 2026 Pathways to a Sustainable Future webinar series. My name is Olivia Burns. I am an environmental specialist with Clark County's Office of Sustainability, supporting the All In Clark County initiative. Welcome to our third webinar of the series, focused on residential energy efficiency 101. Joining us today to present is Caitlin Finnegan, Clark County Sustainability Energy Fellow. Before I pass it over to Caitlin to get us started on energy efficient tips and efforts, I'll share a few tips to enhance your presentation experience and navigate the website. You can translate the entire meeting page and/or the live audio into another language by clicking the Translate button and selecting a language from the Translate drop-down menu. Closed captions are also available for this presentation by clicking the CC button on the bottom right corner of the presentation page. Viewers may call in to hear audio, text in comments, or leave a voicemail by dialing the 855 number located above the presentation page. The best way to interact with us is by putting comments and questions in the chat box next to the presentation live stream. If you think of a question during the presentation, please put them there and we'll review those at the end. This presentation is being recorded and will be available on Clark County's Department of Environment and Sustainability YouTube channel afterwards. Lastly, if you have any difficulties viewing or hearing the presentation at any time, please refresh the meeting page. Now I'll pass it over to Caitlin to get us started. Thank you.
Thank you, Olivia. As Olivia mentioned, my name is Caitlin Finnegan, and I'm an Energy Fellow with Clark County's Department of Environment and Sustainability. Thank you so much for joining today's All in Clark County Energy Efficiency 101 webinar. I'm really excited to walk through how you can save energy, lower your utility bill, and make your home more comfortable, as well as providing you all with resources to support your energy efficiency journeys. All right. So in today's webinar, we will be covering what energy efficiency means, why it matters, especially here in Clark County, practical real-life ways to save energy at home, tools, programs, and resources available to you, and then we'll wrap it up with some key takeaways. So what is energy efficiency? Energy efficiency means getting the same or even better result while using less energy. A really easy example is switching from an old incandescent light bulb to an LED light bulb. You're getting the same amount of light, but you're using significantly less energy to do it. That's it. That is energy efficiency. In fact, energy efficiency is often the least expensive and most effective way to meet demand of energy services while reducing climate and environmental impacts. So let's talk about why energy efficiency actually matters, especially here in Clark County. First, the cost. The average household spends about $2,000 per year on energy, and up to $200 to $500 of that is essentially wasted due to things like drafts, air leaks, and inefficient systems. So when we talk about energy efficiency, we're talking about capturing money that's already being spent and not being used efficiently. Second, our community. In Clark County, buildings account for the largest share of greenhouse gas emissions. In 2019, 33.2% of Clark County's emissions were due to buildings. These emissions can be decreased through energy efficiency. That means that the choices we make at home don't just impact our bills, but they actually scale up to impact our entire region. And here's where energy efficiency becomes personal. For both homeowners and renters, energy efficiency means a lower monthly utility bill, reduced environmental impact, and a more comfortable living space. Energy efficient homes reduce homeowners' energy consumption, reduces greenhouse gas emissions, and often have better indoor air quality. So this isn't just about saving energy, it's about making your home feel better to live in every day. There's also an important upcoming change to be aware of. Starting October 1st, 2026, NV Energy will introduce a residential demand charge. This means your bill will not just depend on how much energy you use overall, but will depend on your highest energy use at one moment in time. So things like running your air conditioning, dishwasher, and dryer all at once could increase your bill. This graph shows a big spike in energy use in the hour 5 to 6. That's what utilities would call a peak demand. When your home is more energy efficient, those spikes get smaller and smoother. Your systems don't have to work as hard or all at once. And that matters because with the new demand charts, it's not just about how much energy you use, it's about how high that peak gets. Thus, energy efficiency helps you lower your total energy use and it helps you avoid those costly spikes. Just to note, utility rate structures and demand charges can get pretty technical. If you have specific questions about your bill or NV Energy's programs, I definitely recommend reaching out to NV Energy directly. They're definitely the best resource for those details. So, how can you actually make your home more energy efficient? Let's get into some practical, realistic actions that you can take. I want to draw special attention to this slide because it isn't just a general advice slide. This is grounded in Nevada specific data from the National Renewable Energy Laboratory of the Rockies, showing improvements proven to work in homes in Nevada. If you look at the highlighted section, there are some of the highest impacts, most accessible upgrades. To start, LED lighting is one of the easiest ones. It's low cost, quick to implement, and can save you just over $100 per year. A smart thermostat helps you better control your home and using energy, especially important in Clark County, where AC use drives up our utility bills. And then there are higher efficiency systems like heat pumps, which are bigger investments but can lead to much larger savings over time. But the key takeaway in this is that you don't need to do everything at once. Start small, one upgrade, one change at a time, and you can see your annual savings add up. While it's not necessary to know exactly how much energy each appliance uses, you should recognize that larger appliances use more energy, create higher demand. Using all of your high energy demand appliances at once may lead to higher daily demand for the day. To be more energy efficient and to keep those costs lower, you should understand what appliances to spread out. So the high demand appliances include your electric ranges, clothing dryers, central AC heat pumps, EV chargers, space heaters, pool pumps, whereas your lower demand ones include phone chargers, your Wi-Fi router, LED light bulbs, radio, a laptop charger, and a smart speaker. So you want to try to avoid running multiple high energy appliances at the same time, which would increase your demand charge. So let's also talk about something sneaky, energy vampires. These are devices that use energy even when they're off. Some of the main culprits when it comes to draining energy are appliances that are constantly connected to electricity, such as those with a clock. Energy vampires include things like televisions, game consoles, and kitchen appliances such as a microwave. Energy vampires account for 5 to 10% of your home's energy use, costing up to $183 per year. A quick win is to unplug them or to use a smart power strip. So, as I mentioned on the previous slide, using a smart power strip or unplugging small appliances and electronics when they're not in use can cut down on wasted energy. Some other easy actions that you can take today include changing your HVAC filters monthly, washing your clothes in cold water, as well as installing a programmable or smart thermostat. These actions may seem small, but they can make a big difference that add up quickly over time. Kind of circling back to the washing your clothes in cold water, when you wash your clothes in hot water, you have to use electricity to heat up that water. And so by washing your clothes in cold water, you're eliminating that use of electricity to heat that water. Yeah, even small changes can save hundreds of dollars per year. When it comes to appliances, you want to look for Energy Star labels. These products meet strict efficiency standards and are designed to use less energy without sacrificing performance. And also, good news for NV Energy customers. NV Energy offers a free qualified appliance replacement program for eligible households. This can help you upgrade inefficient appliances at little to no cost. And if you think that that is a program that you might qualify for, I recommend scanning the QR code at the bottom of the screen. This QR code is also available in the handbook and checklist that we will get into in a few slides. So if you're renting, you also have options when it comes to energy efficiency. A lot of people assume energy efficiency is only for homeowners, but there are actually several ways that renters can take actions, both on their own, but also by working with their landlord. When you do approach your landlord, if that's something that you're interested in, it helps to frame the conversation around clear benefits. This isn't just about lowering your utility bill, but it's also about improving the property's value and appeal for future tenants. So start by suggesting something small, a realistic upgrade, things like switching to LED lighting, installing a smart thermostat, or upgrading to more efficient appliances. These are relatively low cost changes that can have a noticeable impact and can also be helpful to come prepared with information on rebates, incentives, or utility programs that can help offset costs. And if you're open to it, offering to help coordinate or even share in a small cost can make the conversation easier. At the end of the day, the goal is to position this as a win-win, lower energy costs for you and a more efficient market property for them. For many more affordable tips and incentives, I recommend going to the All-In Clark County Home Energy Efficiency or checking out the Clark County Home Energy Efficiency resources at allinclarkcounty.com. Here you can see that we have a handbook and a checklist, which we will get into in the following slides. So one of the resources that is available at allinclarkcounty.com is our home energy efficiency handbook for homeowners. We have a renter's handbook that will be published in the upcoming months. The homeowner's handbook covers the biggest areas of energy use in your home, from appliances and lighting to HVAC installation, water use, and EV charging. For each topic, you'll find a mix of tips, small upgrades, larger improvements that you can consider over time. You'll also find guidance on how often to take each action, whether it's a one-time fix, something seasonal, or an ongoing habit. And to make things easier, we've also included a simple cost indicator using dollar signs so you can quickly understand what's low cost, moderate, or a bigger investment. There's also a section on rebates and incentives to help offset the cost of improvement. The photo on the far right is the incentives and rebates from Boulder City, because we recognize that Boulder City residents are not NV Energy customers. And so all of the cities and towns in Clark County that have different energy providers, we have all of the associated rebates for those areas as well. So everyone is covered in the handbook. And the goal of the handbook is really just to help you make smart energy efficient choices that will save you energy and money over time. You can also download our home energy efficiency checklist. The checklist is broken down into seasonal tasks that we recommend you do on a seasonal basis, as well as tasks that you should do every season. It also comes with different energy saving tips, as well as all of the resources and incentives. This is just a snippet of a few that are from the handbook. So if you want a more all-encompassing rebate and incentive section, please definitely check out the handbook. But these are the main ones as well on the checklist. And if you were to download and print out the checklist, your refrigerator could look just like this one. We do recommend using it and making the most out of the resources that however you see fit. And if you're feeling inspired by today's webinar while you're on the All-In Clark County website, downloading your free guide and checklist, I encourage you to take the All-In Climate Action Pledge and pledge to be all in on home energy efficiency. It's a simple way to commit to making small, meaningful changes that can add up over time. To wrap up, I just want to leave you with a few key takeaways. First, energy efficiency is really about getting the same or even better results while using less energy. It's not about sacrificing comfort, it's about making smarter decisions on how your home operates. Second, start small. You don't need to overhaul your entire home to make a difference. Even one or two changes like switching to LED lighting or adjusting your thermostat can have a real impact. Third, your behavior matters just as much as technology. Simple habits like spacing out appliance use or unplugging devices can make a noticeable difference in your energy use and your bill. Fourth, there are incentives and programs available to help reduce upfront costs, so you don't have to take all of this on alone. And finally, progress adds up. Energy efficiency isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about making steady, incremental improvements over time that lead to meaningful savings and a more comfortable home. And that is all I have. Thank you all so much for your time today. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And I do hope that you leave today feeling empowered to take at least one step forward towards a more efficient, energy efficient home. And if you are interested in learning more about lowering your utility bill, please register for the Save Money with NV Energy Rebates and Incentives webinar, which will be hosted on Thursday, May 21st. Thank you again for your time.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Caitlin, for the energy efficiency webinar and sharing the available resources such as the Home Energy Efficiency Guide and Handbook. I did drop the link in the chat for everyone to check out and download, so make sure you go look at that. So I will now look at audience questions. Thank you. First question in the chat is, when is the best time to run appliances in the summer?
That's a great question. Usually it would be later in the evening or earlier in the morning, when your other appliances aren't also being run. So if you're getting home from work around, let's say, 5 or 6 p.m., you also don't want to do your laundry or your dishes at that same time.
Awesome, thank you. Feel free to add any other questions in the chat. The rest is a lot of just comments, thanking you for including resources for Boulder City residents and renters. The other question was, can I get a copy of the presentation slideshow? Yeah, if you want to send me or Caitlin an email, we could definitely get you a copy. And then also the presentation will be available on our YouTube channel afterwards. So definitely look out for that. Um, and so that's it for the questions, unless any more come up. So I hope everybody enjoyed today's presentation, and I just want to encourage you to stay involved in all in Clark County. We love engaging with our community, just like today's webinar. Here's some upcoming events that we have. So we do have all year long webinar series, so please join us for the next ones. You could register for all of them right now. They're available on our website, allinclarkcounty.com/events, where you're probably viewing this live stream. So you could just scroll down past live stream and register for all of these upcoming webinars. Um, we have climate education outreach. Like Caitlin said, you could dive more into energy efficiency with NV Energy's webinar on May 21st. If you want to learn about sustainability initiatives from Fontainebleau, a resort here on the Las Vegas Strip, definitely check that one out in June. July will have Impact NV presenting on environmental, social, and economic sustainability. August, we'll get to know Clark County Wetlands Park. September 23rd for National Drive Electric Month, we'll talk about EVs and how to make the switch. October 13th is with RTC promoting active transportation through biking and walking. And then join Clark County's team again on November 12th to learn about our community canopy program and how trees in Southern Nevada reduce urban heat and save energy. Then lastly, on December 9th, you could join us to learn all about the City of Henderson's all-in sustainability approach as well. I'd also like to talk about Earth Month next month. So April is Earth Month. We have a lot of events going on. We really hope you join us on Saturday, April 4th at Allegiant Stadium from 10 to 2. We will be hosting an EV ride and drive and a recycling drive. So 2 events on the same day, same time, same location. So you could come test out some EVs. You could bring your electronics, batteries, paint, anything for recycling. We'll have a lot of local vendors, um, the different sustainability offices around. So you could definitely check it out and learn more about sustainability resources all throughout the region. We'll have DJ, food trucks. It'll be a lot of fun. So again, that is from 10 to 2 on Saturday, April 4th. The flyer is on our homepage with a link to more details. I also encourage everyone to sign up for our newsletter. It goes out every 2 weeks. So you get reminders about energy efficiency tips. So we include links to the handbook, to the checklist. We remind every month about what this month's checklist is, and also on our social media as well. So you could stay updated on upcoming events. So definitely appreciate everybody checking out those resources. But that is all for today's webinar. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us to take the opportunity to learn about residential energy efficiency. And another special thank you to Caitlin for the presentation and helpful information. But this is the end of today's webinar. Thank you.